Hello viewers, how y'all doing? Today we're gonna talk about two things. I want to talk about the Woman King movie, and I also want to talk about the new Mermaid movie that's coming out. Now, first thing first, the whole title alone is a good enough reason of why we shouldn't spend our money going to watch this movie. That name alone. Far too often, we as women, we as black women, are always being put in dominant roles. In a dominant position. Bad enough, we be put in masculine roles in our neighborhoods because men aren't stepping up. But the fact that we gotta play roles like this in movies, it harms us more than it does help us. We shouldn't want to be kings. We should want to be queens. So this whole title is jacked up. That alone is an insult to us as black women, or it should be an insult to us as black women. Even though we are always put in masculine positions in our community, we shouldn't have to be put in those positions. But that's just what we go through. Another thing I'm noticing is everybody want to mention the white women who participated in this, right? And I get it. I do feel like this is some type of shade, low key shade. But we also got to remember that it wasn't only her. Viola Davis was in it, and her husband was in it too, the black man. They both helped produce it too. To ignore this fact, y'all are being very disingenuous. Yes, Viola Davis was wrong to be a part of this. But wasn't her husband wrong too for being a part of this? This is another case of y'all not holding the black men to the same standards as you hold the black women. Now let's talk about what the movie is based on. The movie is based on the Dahomey clan, right? The Dahomey people, right? Who enslaved us, right? Who sold us into slavery. And is the reason why most of us are over here, right? Okay, now, there were men who was a part of this tribe too. And who did the women work for? They worked for a king, right? A king who was totally okay with enslaving people and selling them into slavery, right or wrong. Both the men and the women were wrong. In fact, all parties were wrong. Black, white, it don't matter. Just like all of the people who produced this movie were wrong. Black, white, it don't matter. But see, they weren't thinking in that way. They was only thinking about a check. Producers in Hollywood been doing things that weren't right. This right here is a race baiting agenda that they have going. I really believe that this is a race bait agenda. Just like with the Little Mermaid. I see white people getting mad. Which I don't understand why they getting mad at the girl. She didn't do nothing. You want to get mad at somebody, get mad at Hollywood, because Hollywood been doing stuff like this. I wonder how many of y'all would have said something if social media was back then, and y'all would have been back then when the Queen of Sheba was played by a white woman, knowing damn well the Queen of Sheba was not no white woman. The Queen of Sheba was a black woman. But y'all, your ancestors were okay with that though. Y'all was okay with it. But now all of a sudden y'all want to get mad at a movie. At least y'all still got the cartoon, white people. You still got the cartoon. And if you really want to know what the Mermaid is based on, actually it was never yours to begin with. That whole mermaid ideal came from Africa. That's where it started at. I'm willing to bet whoever thought of the idea of the mermaid, which most likely Walt Disney or whoever, they stole it from Africa. Because African had queen gods that were mermaids. So if you really want to know the truth, the mermaid was never yours to begin with. Your ancestors stole that whole ideal. In the same way they stole different religions and put it together into one religion. Your ancestors been stealing stuff for years. So you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at your ancestors. Now, I don't know if there were black people saying anything about this, but I'm going to say something about it. Every time you see an Egyptian movie, who do you see playing the main characters? It might be a black person in it, but they not playing a main character. It's always a white person playing the main character. Do you hear us saying, not my Egypt? Hell nah. In the same way, we got to take a look in the mirror and be reminded that our ancestors enslaved us, and they're the reason why we over here. Y'all need to take a look in the mirror and realize that your ancestors was just as part of the slavery trade as our ancestors. Your ancestors were the ones who whitewashed everything. Your ancestors went around stealing everybody's religion and put it into one religion. Not saying it's not true. And I'm not saying it's all white people that have a problem with this Ariel movie, because I did see some white people speaking out against it, against other white people who have some negative to say. I'm talking to the white people that have a problem with it. Look in the mirror and be reminded of the fact that your ancestors were racist, and some of y'all are using this Ariel situation to be just as racist as they were. If you don't like the Ariel movie, don't watch it. That goes for the black people too. If you don't like this new movie, don't watch it. Just don't support with your money. I know I'm not spending any of my money to watch the Woman King movie. I already know my people sold us into slavery. I don't have to be reminded of it because I already know. But anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. How do you feel about the Woman King? And how do you feel about some of these racist white people using the Ariel movie to show their racism? Don't forget to like, share. And just like I said, leave a comment. Peace.